So a couple of days ago, as I was out playing rugby with my friends, we're just having this massive talk about life. We're just talking about everything, right? We're talking about school, we're talking about relationships, friends, we're talking about that fucking prom that's right around the corner, everything, right? However, as we're about to leave and we're talking about our friend group and how much it grew and developed and all that, suddenly my friend says something that I think will stay with me for a very, very long time. Essentially, as we're about to leave the football pitch, I guess you could call it, my friend told me that he wishes that one day I can become the uncle of his children. Best part, I've only known this dude for like 5 months. So as I'm sitting here trying to like comprehend what I've just heard, because it was deep, right? He made that shit sound deep. I don't fucking know why. As I'm trying to sit there and understand this, that's when I realized just how much progress I've made from being an anti-social guy who knows nothing about social skills, right? Who's literally getting scared of speaking to people, let alone speaking to a group of people, to being able to make best friends with anybody, to being able to start a conversation with whoever, and still being able to run it, to make friends out of it, to make something that's actually worth my time, instead of relationships that are just pointless, right? And today I wanted to teach you a couple of traits that actually help you develop that. By the end of this video, I promise you that you will be a social skills god with just these 3 or 4 quick tips, right? Let's get straight to the first one, right? Let's not waste your time and start off with the most important one. You need to stop being so fucking focused on yourself. Believe me when I tell you, my friend, you weren't even aware of how much you were focused on yourself, and let alone how much everybody else is focused on themselves except you. Trust me, we are much more self-serving as the human species than you think we are. When you're in a conversation and somebody's telling you a story, I swear to God, you are more likely to start talking about your story the moment they're done, instead of asking questions about their story, instead of actually being interested in what they were talking about. Trust me, you aren't even aware of how much self-centered you are. And I don't mean this to sound in a negative way, because we all are. We are self-serving, my friend. And this is the one thing that I want you to implant into your mind, because what is the most desired thing in the human species? You might think it's some materialistic possessions. It might be that car, it might be that girl, it might be all of that. Trust me, most people, they would be completely like satisfied if they just had more attention. If they could just have that feeling of being listened to, being heard, being understood. That's the feeling that all of us crave. And when you are able to help people get that feeling, they will fucking love you. And it's so simple. That's it. It's so simple. And I know I'm probably pissing you off because you don't know what I'm talking about, but imagine this. Imagine you are in a friend group and you're talking about, I don't fucking know, cars. But that one friend of yours, who's also a part of the friend group, doesn't know much about cars, right? So he's just standing there awkwardly. He doesn't know how to get involved. You know, there isn't any relatable topic to him, so he's just kind of awkwardly standing here. If you could just ask him a question to get him involved into the conversation, that person would literally like fall in love with you. Not being straight, right? That person would genuinely feel so welcomed, because what's going on in his mind? He's thinking to himself, oh shit, they actually want me to be a part of the conversation. I'm not just a third wheel, of course. And you don't have to ask them anything difficult. If you're talking about cars and you have this one friend that doesn't know much about it, I don't fucking know, ask him about his dream car, even though if he doesn't have one, you know, find a way to get him involved. Don't let anybody stick out. If I'm on the basketball court and I notice that one of my friends is doing way worse than the other ones, I don't fucking know what happened. Maybe he's just shooting bricks all day. Guess what? If we're just playing a match that's for fun, I'll pass him the ball more often. I'm not just going to be a ball hog and not pass to him just because I'm scoring more. No. I'm going to try to get him involved. Because that's what friends do. Keep this in mind, my friend. You don't realize how important this is. But let's move on to the next trait, because the next trait is that you need to be the initiator. Now, what that means? When most people don't feel like doing something, you're the one who has to do it. Now, probably the best example of this is that most people, they don't like scheduling events. They have this friend group on Messenger or WhatsApp, for example, that they want to meet up with, but they don't actually do anything to meet up. They don't schedule anything. They don't plan anything out. They just hope that one day something works out and that, oh, we all meet again. Why don't you become the one guy who organizes those events? Because guess what? That's going to boost not only your social circle a lot, but your status. Yeah, if you're that type of person who cares about status, then this tip's for you. But essentially, if you were just to organize something that doesn't even have to be difficult, something similar, simple. Maybe you can go on a long, like 30-kilometer walk one day, and you invite all of your friends for it as a challenge. And by the end of it, you'll have like a massive feast where you go to a KFC and you eat out. Why not? The possibilities are endless, and the most common coping mechanism that I see is that, oh, there's nothing to do in my town. There's nothing to do in my town. It's not about the town. It's about the activities you can do. Trust me, you could invite all of your friends to throwing rocks on a lake, and at least 5 of them will arrive. If they are your true friends, and I don't mean to sound like a bullshitter telling you, if they're friends, they'll do it. I don't mean it like that. Keep it straight. But most people love the idea of being invited into something so much that they could literally show up to you throwing rocks on a lake as long as you're having fun and you're having a conversation to it. It's godlike. Okay, maybe that example was kind of stupid, but you get where I'm going with this, right? If you were to just organize something simple and get all of your friends involved, people will fuck. I feel like I'm yapping at this point, but people love stuff like this. Look at it from your perspective. You remember that one time where your friend invited you to a gym session, for example, where he invited all of his friends and, you got to meet a couple of new people at the gym and it was fun? You could be the one who makes people feel like that every week. Once a week, you'll host something like that, meeting up with all of your friends. You think I know how to play rugby? Bro, I'm from the Middle Europe. Your rugby, like the part of the intro, that was just a way to bring all of my friends together and for something new, something fun. Trust me, you don't have to be good at something to do it. You can just do it as long as you're having fun. It's cool. But moving on to the last point that so neglected, right? It's not really an actionable step, but I want to warn you from something that a lot of people do that can ruin a friendship. Don't talk behind people's backs. One of the worst fucking traits ever. If you're going to say something about your friend behind his back when he isn't listening, you better not complain about that person. Now, it's so easy, right? Because who knows, maybe one day your friend will piss you off at something, you do something that will get you like really upset, really pumped up, and you just want to express yourself to the world. You want to express that anger so that you feel understood. Don't. Please, because that's just going to change the other's perception of that person. I'm going to tell you a very funny story to back that up, because a couple of days ago, when I was on the basketball court with my friends, I invited one of my friends over who doesn't really play basketball, but he's fucking jacked, right? His bench PR is like 120 kilograms. He's a little bit short because he's like 5'5", that's 160 something centimeters, right? But we invited him on the basketball court, and whilst he didn't know the rules, he was huge, right? So he was bumping through everybody, he was fouling on every play, and I found it funny, right? But the guys who actually wanted to play the game, they were a little bit pissed off, right? So at one point, when my friend did the exact same thing of, bumping through like 5 people, scoring an ugly looking layup, I just called him a mini Pekka. For mini Pekka from Clash of Clans, right? That was meant to be a funny joke. And he laughed at it, I laughed at it, pretty much everybody laughed on the court. Great. But all of the people that were on the court who weren't our friends, right? Who just found that guy annoying because he was fouling on every play, they nicknamed him that. Something that was meant to be a silly joke ended up being his unwanted nickname on that basketball court. And now I'm being straight, right? Because every time we go on that court, there will be at least 2 guys calling him that. Now, I know that it wasn't really talking behind his back because he was literally there. But be aware of what you say about your friends when they're not present, because that can change somebody's perception on that person. Let's say that you are friends with person A, and person A pissed you off, so you go to person B, complain about it. Guess what? Person B is not a friend of person A. Person A is my friend, right? In this particular example, right? So he doesn't know much about him. So from that short description that you gave to person A, that's the only person A he knows. He doesn't know the struggles that he went through. He doesn't even know his character. That the person A that the person B knows is just the guy that pissed you off, and he's gonna walk around with that energy when he's around him. Trust, when you spread negativity around other people, it changes others' perception on that person, even if they're completely fine. So don't talk smack about people behind their back. Oh damn, that actually sounded pretty nice. But okay, to summarize this video up, I'm gonna give you one more bonus tip that's so easy to forget, so easy to neglect, so easy to ignore. But especially if this is a friend who you're not friends with for a very long time, this one's very important, right? And it's actually the reason why my channel blew up in the first place. Smile. Smile. If you ever heard online that smiling isn't masculine, that you shouldn't smile as a man, bro. That actually fucked up my tripod, but you have to be the dumbest piece of shit to actually believe that. And I'm actually being mad at you if you believe this, because why? Why is smiling supposed to be a negative thing? My most popular video, the one that's sitting at 500,000 million, it's called "I'll Fix You Bad Mood in One Sentence." With a big fucking smile on my face. I don't have to say a word. My emotions express everything you need to know. That's one of the dumbest things ever. Ever, please. If you ever thought that smiling is a bad thing, even if your teeth are fucked up, please smile more, because it's not about how your fucking teeth looks. It's not about if your smile is good looking or not. I fucked up my tripod. It's about what the smile means. It's about if it's genuine or not. And when you apply this positive environment onto that person, they're gonna carry on the exact same feeling. Did you know that when somebody smiles at you, you are more likely to smile back? Simple, right? Obvious. Self-explanatory. This is the one tip that's probably the easiest to apply, because guess what? With all of these, you kind of have to be a little bit more self-conscious, right? You have to be a little bit self-aware. You actually have to know what you're doing. But with the bonus tip, it's so easy. Also, now that I've showed you the list, I realized that I kind of added a point that wasn't there. But yeah, you get where I'm going with this, right? So I'm hoping that this video helped you out. And if you want to talk to me directly whilst hanging around an amazing community of like-minded people who all share the same interest, which is to level up in life, trust me, my Discord is the best place for that. Don't believe me? Fuck around and find out. If not, go do whatever you're doing. Go back to your little TikTok a little bit. But yeah, I hope you helped you out. I hope that I helped you out. And I'll see you in the next one, buddy. So, yep, keep working, brother, and take care.